All right, guys. Thanks for your time, Coach Luke. We'll go to questions. Let's start with Dean Legge, and then we'll go to Mark Weiser.
Matt, how do y'all shuffle this out in the spring? I mean, do you know when? Will y'all get a feel for when you'll start being able to shuffle out who's going to be at what spots?
You know what? I think really what we've been focusing on is culture and unselfishness and just, gotten buying in. And guys like, Jamari coming back and Schaefer and Warren Erickson, they've really been doing a great job of leading. And I think with guys that has some experience, it does give you a little bit of flexibility. But without having a spring last year, I'm really excited about the competition, coming up this spring.
Matt, I'm curious about the development of Broderick Jones, who came in with a lot of hype, obviously, and you have a lot of talent in front of him. What's your expectations as you develop him this spring?
Good. I mean, I'm excited to see him compete, in the spring. I am. He does have a lot of ability, and just excited to see him get in there and compete and get the reps. And so I think that, and going against quality guys on defense, I think that'll be key as well.
Hey, let's go to Anthony Dasher and then Mike Griffith.
Hey, Coach. Again, just having the spring practice this year to get those linemen kind of get them going a little bit. The difference that's going to make for you specifically at your position.
No, it's big. The best way for guys to get better at football is to go play football and to go get those reps. I mean, it's invaluable. And you're losing guys like Trey and Ben that have been around and had a bunch of reps. So these reps will be huge for us moving forward.
Hey, Coach, kind of a two-parter here. One, I guess sitting out here on the sideline, we just look at it and say, boy, he's got a lot of 5 stars. There ain't no way that struggle. And the second one was the shuffle for the bowl game. Looking back, how difficult was that to shuffle that line in that shorter period of time for the bowl?
Yeah, I think any time that you have to replace people, it's tough, especially going against a quality defense. So it was tough. But, I do think moving forward, we do have some pieces to the puzzle, but they got to go in there and get the experience. That's why, guys like Jamari, guys like Schaefer, guys Warren Erickson have been around. They can kind of help set the tempo and lead these guys, moving forward, especially coming up with spring coming up.
All right, let's go to Seth Emerson and then Chip Towers.
Matt, how much stock are you putting in the Peach Bowl performance? How much does what Xavier did at left tackle, Jamari as a left guard in that game, how much stock does that have in a real game going to have versus what you see in spring practices and scrimmages?
Well, to me, that it was just a starting point, and now you move forward, and you got 15 practices in the spring, and you got all summer, then you got all fall camp. So, it is some experience that like for Xavier, he got his feet wet, but you're looking to build off that in these practices, and obviously summer and fall camp. So you're excited that you can really build off that experience.
Coach, you've coached offensive line for a long time. I wonder if you can put in perspective, because you just in this brief time we've talked about so many different options that you have. Is this as deep as you've dealt with, or there's a lot of different ways you can go? Is that more than you're accustomed to, or is it about the way it is every spring?
I think. Anytime you have some flexibility with guys like Jamari that can play multiple spots and Schaefer and Warren that can play multiple spots, it gives you some flexibility. And then obviously competition is huge, at every position. So anytime that you have competition, I think that's what makes Georgia special, is the ability to have competition at those positions and makes everybody better.
All right, let's go to Jake Rowe and then Jed May.
Coach Luke, I wanted to ask you about working with Todd Monken, and I know amongst the coaching staff, the word potential is probably thrown around quite a bit, but it's something that doesn't get mentioned to us very often. You guys don't want us to blow it up or whatever, but working with him, seeing what he likes to do offensively, seeing the talent you guys have coming back, how do you feel about the potential of the offense and the potential of Coach Monken to kind of get the most out of it?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed being around Coach Monken. Obviously, I've known of him in coaching circles for a long time, but just very impressed with how he kind of sets everything up. He's very, very intelligent. He coaches with passion and energy, and just it's been really, really good to get around that pro style, and I've learned a lot. in the short time that we've been together, and it's only going to get better moving forward. So that's what I'm excited about.
Hey, Coach Luke. Something Coach Smart has talked about a lot is putting the best 5 offensive linemen on the field, regardless of position. As an offensive line coach, I guess how does that play into the mindset for you, and how do you think it affects the guys on the field, knowing, a guy like Warren Erickson, for example, might be competing for a starting spot at center and guard?
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately my job is to put the best 5 guys on the field, and so that's what spring practice is for. That's what all the lifting and the running right now and in the summer, that's what it's all for. But ultimately, when the game kicks off, we got to have the best 5 out there.
All right, let's go to Roddy Nabulsi, and then we'll go to Connor Riley.
Coach, can you give us a little bit on Amarius Mims? I know you haven't been able to have him practice yet, but there's been a lot of buzz coming about him. And a second question, by my count, I think you have 3 or 4 state championship wrestlers on your team. How much do you think that wrestling preps these guys for fighting in the trenches?
Well, first off, the wrestling part, I think there's a lot of good hand-to-hand combat, leverage, toughness, quickness, all those little things. There's a lot of carryover from wrestling to O-line. So that is something that kind of does go hand in hand. And as far as Marius, I'm really, really excited about him, and just he's handled his business. You got to think about him. He should still be, probably getting ready for senior prom, but he's here working, and just really excited to see how he does in spring ball.
Hey, Matt, what position do you think Jamari Sawyer is best at, and how important is his flexibility, as you say, to unlocking the best possible combination you guys can have on the offensive line?
His not only his flexibility, but his leadership. I think that's huge. Coach Smart has done a great job this offseason, preaching unselfishness, preaching about culture. And Jamari is a huge part of that with him coming back. And his flexibility, he's going to play guard and he's going to play tackle. So his flexibility, based on how some of the other pieces do, it does give you some flexibility and competition.
All right, we've got time for maybe just one more question. Let's take that from Palmer.
Yeah, Coach. Warren McClendon is a guy who developed a lot over the last season. What are your expectations for him going into this next year?
I just want to see him build off, what he started. He got a lot of experience. He played a lot of football last year, and just really build on that, getting bigger and stronger in the off season, and then improving this spring and the summer and then fall camp. So just, he built a solid foundation this year. So now let's take the next step.
All right. Thank you, Coach.